What is happening? Today I read very interesting articles, a lot of it, and I closed it today with something really interesting which I read before, and I have my own thoughts on that. And the topic is moonlighting. Last time I read it a week ago, I felt that it's pretty new to me. I've never listened to this before. I've never come across in news or anybody speak about it. Moonlighting means the light of the moon. I mean, how is it relevant with current affairs or anything? And then I read about it, and then I realized moonlighting means working at the same time at two places without the knowing of the first person. And now in tech companies it's pretty a serious issue because it seems during COVID people had a lot of free time, and they had the opening to work at different places. If they are talented in some other area than just being employed, they could use that talent somewhere else and earn from it. So the question is, what is moonlighting? Moonlighting is when you work at two places. One becomes your primary source of income, the other becomes your secondary source of income. And it's been very common from very long time, as I just listened to in the news. I remember we have taking tuitions had become a business at some point of time. Most teachers who are not only who are good in their subjects, most teachers in fact they would like to invest on the tuitions as well, and opening tuition centers was another way of earning, and children liked it. It had become a business because children did not get what they were looking for in the class. In those times it was personal attention which they were looking for, and since they could not get it from the school, they expected that from the tuition centers. And I don't know whether they could get it, but it has become, and still it prevails. Still we have now the private tuitions are very less, where one teacher sits and she attends to a few children. It is not there because it's not profitable, and so teachers basically are looking for profits. So that's how it is. And now it's not only teachers who are working somewhere, it is more of teachers who have quit their jobs, who have been working in some places, and then they open a tuition center. It's like that. Now it is like that. So this is very common. People have been spending some time. I remember some of the music teachers who used to come and train other children for classical music. Or teach any kind of instruments. They were in the day hours they worked somewhere else, and this was just a talent which they had, and they wanted to use it somewhere. So they would come they would spend that time in teaching children, and that's how it is. So this concept of moonlighting, or that being something wrong, never existed in those times. We never thought in that angle, probably. So that's about moonlighting. Okay, moonlighting is where is it very dark, where you work at two places at the same time. You must read about it. And what is your view about that? Is it right or wrong? Just the question of ethics come there when it comes to working at two places at the same time. I've seen people who does service after the working hours. In places where they are working, they earn out of it, and after that they have free time, or during weekends they go to some other, they engage in service activities. From it is voluntary and they don't earn out of it. But then if you have so much of interest and talents, you need to put it somewhere. What I believe is that my personal view in this matter is that there is something called as your ethics, which comes in all areas of life, not only professional ethics, but also the way the ethics, there's a lot of role ethics plays in your life, in every area of life, not only just your job, but also in the personal life as well. So according to me, what I believe is that if you're working and earning in one place, you need to have some kind of loyalty and transparency with that organization or with that person, which is mutual. It has to be mutual. So if you realize that, and things, when I say sincerity, loyalty, and transparency, what I believe is that it has to be from both ways, and the other person, the person you are working for, the employer and the employee, both of them should be clear about what each of them expect from them. And that there the idea of ethics plays a lot, and basically I feel that if there is transparency between the person who has employed you and the employees, I feel that this doesn't come at all. You don't feel like working somewhere else without letting the other person know about it. That question does not occur. So these things happen only because of lack of transparency. You hide something from the other person. One thing is you have no ethics. Basically, it is not mandatory that everybody should have an ethics. It's okay for you to work at different places and earn out of it. Everybody wants profits in life. Everybody wants to make a lot of money. It's a part of life now. You cannot afford so many things if you don't have enough money, and everybody are looking for money. So if you have more talents and gifts and energy and spare time, what are you supposed to do with that? So definitely you will go around finding places where you can invest your time and your talents and also earn out of it. And usually it is done without disclosing to the person who has employed you as your primary job. You don't let them know about it because you fear that you are going to be looked down upon. Probably you know that it is something not right what you're doing, so you kind of keep it hidden from that person because there is no transparency from both sides. So that's about it. That's all said. So moonlighting is a question of ethics. But I believe that if you are very talented, you must have some way of using your talents. And if you are not able to use your talents in the place where you're working for, definitely you'll have to find other areas where you can utilize your talents if you have it. But you don't have to make it profitable. That's it. That is not required. So that's about it. That's my view about moonlighting. It all comes to ethics. That's it. What are your ethics when it comes to your life and your professional life? Do you have some ethics? I am a person of ethics, in the sense I have my own values and principles in life, which I try not to break and to fall to a level where I'm not comfortable at all. That's about it. So today's video is very simple. It is about what I read today. I read a lot of interesting articles today, and one of this is about moonlighting. So let me know what you believe about moonlighting. Is it okay for people to work at two places at the same time? Or is it the fact that you are trying to hide it from the person who you are paid for, I mean you are working for? Is that what makes it wrong? Or is it wrong for that a person works at two places? Of course you are compromising on a lot of things, because as we all know, human beings are not made to multitask. That's always there. When you put your legs in two boats, you are neither in this nor that. We all know that. So if you have to travel in two boats at the same time, it needs a lot more efforts and a lot more balance to be able to do justice to both of it. So the work that you undertake, if you're taking two work at the same time, you will have to put a lot of effort in making it work out for yourself as well as for both of it. So you kind of compromise on a lot of things. If you were working in one place, definitely you have more clarity and more of sincerity that you are able to give to one company or one organization. It doesn't happen. But then when it comes to motherhood, you have so many children. And what I learned from a mother who was raising 5 children at the same time, she told that what she learned is not to divide her love but to multiply it. She learned it. That is the only way she could have given attention equally to all the 5 children. That's very difficult. So that doesn't happen in work related aspects of life. So it's a serious topic that we have taken today. So definitely you'll have to compromise on many areas. And it happens only if you compromise. So that's one reason organizations, when they come to know that their employees are working at different places and earning out of it, they don't like it, not because they are earning, but because they will have to compromise a lot on their work in this organization. Without that, it is not possible. That's about it. So today, that is the last thing I read today, and I thought I'll talk about that. The word is moonlighting. What do you think? Are we good in multitasking? It brings to that question. Are we as individuals good in multitasking? Can we do two things or more things at a time? Can we give our full attention to doing two things at the same time? Do you think that if we train ourselves, we will be better at it? Because we live in a world where we have to multitask. We can't keep away. We can't be just doing one thing at a time and expect to get done with a lot of things. It doesn't happen that way. We have to multitask to a certain level. Without that, it doesn't happen. So that is always there. Though we know that we are best when we focus on one thing. Like if you are employed, if you are with one person, give yourself to that organization, that institution, that individual you're working for, whether you call them the boss, leader, or whoever. You have to be loyal to that person. It's very important that we learn that, and that comes in the ethics. So people who don't have ethics, you'll have to tell them what it is like, because ethics is something that you develop from your inside probably, and we cannot expect that from everybody. It doesn't come with everyone. So you need to be transparent from both sides. When you're transparent, things are pretty much clear. You know that if you violate so and so rules laid by the institution or the organization, you are definitely going to pay a penalty for that, even if it means being terminated. Isn't it simple as that? So that's for today. Check in the dictionary. The word is The word is moonlighting. Okay, I thought it's something romantic. Usually when we think of moonlighting and all, the word itself tells us something romantic, like honeymoon or something. I never expected moonlighting is something that has to do with this, because I don't know what is the relation between moonlighting and working at two places. I have no idea. Now I have to browse and find out what it is. If you know, let me know what it is about. How come we have got this term in this context? How is it related? I have no idea at all. Do you have any idea? So that's right. At some days we have to be serious, and today it is a very serious topic. Okay, what day is today? Today is Thursday, which means we have one more day, that is tomorrow, to do the blah 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 of thoughts. Today again it's afternoon thoughts. I'll be back tomorrow. It's something interesting. Apart from what I'm reading, usually I spend some time in the morning to read, and then when I read that, I come across some interesting topics, and you know how my brain works. From one point to another point to another point, I just keep making new connections and drawing a pattern out of it. So that's how from one idea which you read, you can make a connection to another idea, which either you have read before, or which the clues are already available in what you read. That's how it works. Okay, so I hope you're having a good Thursday, and I'll be back tomorrow with something better than this, if you don't like this topic. But if you like it, well, it's just good. Refer and read about it. It's pretty interesting. Now that we have technology and we have the social networking system, we don't lack informations. We have quite a lot of informations, and clarifying your doubts and regarding whatever in life, it's pretty easy. So if you don't know something, you just have to go browse and find out, or just scroll down your YouTube or your Facebook or your Twitter, Instagram, wherever you are, and just find out. From there you get a lot of clues and a lot of stuff, and life is pretty easy now after all this. But we still complain of all the things, because it's easy to complain, because negative aspects of life, it seems that we view it with a magnifier. It's very easy to spot them, and as well as we view them with a magnifier, which means they look pretty larger than what they are, negative things. And whereas the positive aspects in life, we don't look like that. We have to be very observing to find out the positive aspects of life, any area. So that needs a lot of effort, and we don't put that much effort. That's simple as that. I'm just telling you the things that I experience, and I try to correct myself in some areas. When we know we are wrong in some areas, is it not better if we correct it in some way? That's how it is. Okay, relax, and I'll be back tomorrow with something interesting.